Travel costs energy before the trip even starts. Rest is what makes a trip survivable. Rest is what keeps you from needing a week-long recovery coma afterward. Rest is important every day. And all of these, if you have any of these comorbidities or any of these diseases, rest, 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 especially in your trip. Plan resting into it. It will save you a lot of internal stress or thinking that you're not doing enough or wasting anything. Hey, beautiful soul, and welcome to Dear Body, I'm Listening, the podcast for women navigating chronic symptoms, invisible illness, and that daily dance between hope and exhaustion. If you've ever been told it's all in your head, well, this podcast is for you because your body is not lying and neither are you. Hi, I'm Donna Piper, movement therapist, Pilates instructor, and chronic illness navigator. After years of being dismissed, misdiagnosed, and doing everything quote unquote right, but still getting sicker, I created this space to tell our truth. Here we talk about swelling, brain fog, nervous system crashes, and the kind of symptoms that don't always show up on lab results. We're going to explore lymph, breath, movement, self-trust, latest research, books, relationships, basically everything. All from a place of compassion and honesty. This isn't about fixing your body. It's about finally being heard and getting some answers. Hey friend, running low? Me too. I'm Donna. This is Dear Body, I'm Listening. We're in it together. Hey love, welcome back to Dear Body, I'm Listening. So I'm heading to Germany for all of January and a couple days of February. And I wanted to record this episode because traveling with chronic illness is not eat, pray, love. It's more like pack, pee, pace, compress. If you've ever searched traveling with chronic illness travel tips, swelling on flights, flying with lipedema, and how to travel with fatigue, or why does travel wreck me, you're in the right place. And if you're listening like, I don't even travel, I just want to survive Target, this all still applies. Travel is basically life, but louder. Real talk, no gloss, just us. Now let's dive in. Here's the part that nobody tells you. Travel costs energy before the trip even starts. There's the physical stuff, standing in lines, hauling bags, temperature swings, weird food timing, bathrooms that require a map, and emotional courage. And then there's the invisible stuff. Decision fatigue, sensory overload, nervous system activation, the pressure to quote-unquote make it worth it, and that sneaky fear of, what if I crash and I'm not at home? So here's my real life nervous system safe travel setup, especially if you're managing lipedema, ME/chronic fatigue syndrome, MCAS, hypermobility, any spectrum if you're hypermobile at all, POTS, and chronic pain. 1, build a buffer like it's your job. So I'm not squeezing in one more thing. I'm leaving space like a rich lady leaves space in her calendar. 2, use help like it's normal. Wheelchair assistant at the airport, escort between gates, priority boarding. Even if you might feel like, oh, they physically maybe can't see what's wrong with me. What if I'm being judged? Listen, it's not dramatic. It's access, and access is hot. 3, plan the flight like it's a body event. So what do I mean? Aisle seat if you need a bathroom and movement breaks, which I do. Longer layovers, which I have. If your body needs slow transitions, try not to sprint through like it's the amazing race. Really try to make sure that you time everything out. Everything is leisurely, because with all these conditions, stress adds more inflammation to your body, and we don't want that. Carry on your meds, use extra days before and after if you can, because travel delays love chaos, right? 4, bring safe food, especially if you deal with histamine or MCAS reactions like I do. Airport food is a gamble, and I don't really like gambling. I don't really want to go into a flare. If a flare happens, there's a lot of things that are out of my control with my flares. But when it's in my control, I want to make sure I have everything I need. So I'm not adding to my body's overload. 5, treat landing like recovery day, not a productivity day, not a sightseeing day, a landing day. So I have it built in my flights that when I land, I'm going straight to the airport hotel and staying there no matter what time it is. Then I don't have to navigate a city. I don't have to do all that, especially if my flights are delayed. I am going right to the airport hotel. Same thing on the way back. My last stop is the airport hotel, so I don't have to stress about all the airport things in the morning. Now it's time for the connective thread, where the story meets the science. So let's talk about some science that actually help. I promise it's really quick. When you travel, your autonomic nervous system gets hit with more input: new environments, uncertain timing, sensory overload, disrupted sleep, different food, temperature changes, etc. For bodies already living with chronic stress or complex illness, that can mean your system flips into high alert faster. So here's some information from the Cleveland Clinics. And on flights, long periods of sitting can contribute to blood and fluid pooling in the legs, which can worsen swelling and heaviness, especially for people already prone to edema. Hello, lipedema. All the things, really. Compression and movement breaks can help reduce swelling and also lower clot risk on long flights for some travelers. Here's some tips for the Mayo Clinic. You're not aiming for no symptoms. You're aiming for support, strategy, and self-trust. Mythbuster. Less hype, more help. Myth. If I plan perfectly, I won't flare. Truth. Even good travel is still a stressor. Different bed, different food, different temperature, different time zone, different nervous system load. Myth. If I rest, I'm wasting the trip. No. Rest is what makes a trip survivable. Rest is what keeps you from needing a week-long recovery coma afterward. So I always talk about rest. Rest is important every day. And all of these, if you have any of these comorbidities or any of these diseases, rest, 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 especially in your trip. Plan resting into it. It will save you a lot of internal stress or thinking that you're not doing enough or wasting anything. And the last one, myth, if I need accommodations, I'm high maintenance. No, you're just cooperating with reality. So really think of, other than thinking that you're not so bad, which many of us do, think of, no, I need this because if this extra support that I'm giving myself is actually going to help me so I don't flare as bad or I don't crash for days. Maybe I crash for one day other than 5 days. So really look at it as support. Feel good flow time, micro moves, macro reliefs. Let's breathe together. So here's a quick travel reset you can use anywhere: airport, taxi, hotel, bathroom stall. Put your hand on your chest and hand on your belly. Inhale through your nose for 4, exhale for 6, like you're cooling soup. Do that twice. Now feel your feet, press them down gently. And if you're on a flight, do this tiny limp-friendly loop. Ankle pumps 10 times. Soft calf squeezes 10 times. Then relax. Then repeat once, twice, however you think. And then say this out loud or in your head, depending on where you are. We are going slow on purpose. Or you could say, I am going slow on purpose. But especially if you're traveling with others, talk to them about how you need to move slow if they're faster pace, why you're going to add these rests in. So let everyone know. So then all these things that you're doing is on purpose. So you're not adding to, oh my gosh, I'm not keeping up. I wish I could do this, XYZ. This is shared education and lived experience, not medical advice, and is not meant to be. Check in with your body, check in with your clinician, and find out what fits your life. If you're traveling with chronic illness, I want you to hear me. There is nothing wrong with you. You just have to prepare a little bit more. It's not that you can't have the same joy on these trips. I'm going for a medical reason, but if you're actually just going on a fun trip or a ride, just make sure you learn about all your things. So, for instance, hypermobility. I didn't know why car rides as the passenger would give me so much pain and I would flare and all of these things. And it was because my body needed to be supported. So once I found a different support, there's many different ways people have gotten creative. They've used like those little baby pillows. I use pillows to prop my arms up to keep me more held so I'm not jostling around. So think of it that there's nothing wrong with you. You just need to be creative with accommodations of support for yourself. You've been living in a body that hasn't been understood, and you deserve to travel in a way that doesn't punish you, right? That helps you, that makes you feel good. And if this episode has helped, share it with a friend who thinks they have to push through trips too to prove they're okay. And come back next week because I'm going to be talking about POTS, which I will learn how to pronounce that name, the symptoms, and in women, men get it too, but most of everything I deal with is women. So I'm going to be talking about with women and why standing up can feel like a full contact sport. Until then, have a great week. Thanks for listening. You've been listening to Dear Body, I'm Listening. Now it's time to remember to be gentle with your capacity, meet yourself where you are. And if this has helped, send it to a friend who also needs a soft reminder and a gentle place to land. If this episode made you feel even more seen, brought you clarity, or reminded you that you're not alone, please take a moment to rate, review, and send it to someone who needs that same reminder. You can find more tools, blog posts, and support over at donnapiper.com. And hey, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Got a question for me? Every month I do a listener coaching episode, and I'd love to hear from you. Send your questions, stories, or flare-up confessions to donna@donnapiper.com. And you just might hear your answer on the show. Until next time, dear body, I'm listening, and I am so glad that you are here.